Hi friends, this is an evolved mutated primate with the name Calpunpizo that is creating thoughts with the brain. And I'm going to present facts again. And again I will repeat. Remember, we create everything with the brain. So here they are. All the confusion is due to psychosis in the United States of America. The neurological disorder that nobody sees, that could make our species extinct. We are not aware of it. So, let's keep it in mind. Religious beliefs are a mental illness. They're all created in the brain, making people insane. And it's not seen for the mental illness it is. It's a schizophrenic-like disorder. And that's what should be emphasized. Our species can be extinct if we don't point out that believing God is a mental illness. Faith and all that crap is mental illness. It causes immorality. And people don't understand that. We create God with the brain, not the ass. We're in the 21st century. And you see these problems. Christ psychotic infected imbecile in the United States. If you believe in a resurrecting zombie that says with blood, you're sick people. You're schizophrenic. And all Christians are like that. And they keep doing that in churches, molesting the brain of children. Well, in Arabia, over there, they have mosques. And they have the same garbage, the same deluded schizophrenic delusions. They have them over there, they have it in India, they have it everywhere. Anybody that believes in God has a problem with the brain. And that's the problem all over the world. And neurologists should actually mention that. Believing God is a disease, a mental illness, not unlike schizophrenia. Religion is organized as schizophrenia. And that should be mentioned. We're in the 21st century, not the 12th. All the churches, mosques, and all that should be eliminated. Put these people in mental illnesses all over the world. Then we don't have problems like this.
All right, Ivan, we're going to stay on top.
And you know, psychosis infected America, practice eugenics. 1920s or so, they sterilized blacks and people that they thought they were feeble-minded, and also Jews and anybody that had probably infidels. I would have been sterilized. Remember, United States has 6 schizophrenic, psychotic infected imbeciles in the Supreme Court. 6 of them. 6 of them. Scalia, Roberts. They're completely deranged, delusional people that believe in resurrecting zombies that say with blood. And they are the ones ruling on the laws of the country. These lunatics, these schizophrenic imbeciles, ignoramuses that believe in the resurrected zombies that say with blood. And they are the ones in the judicial system. You know, we have 9 of them, and 3 of them are Jewish, which are mentally healthy, are atheists. They know exactly what's going on. But the other 6 are schizophrenic. You see Scalia, the rulings that he's saying? The moron is in the clouds, and nobody, there is no doctors and neurologists that question the mental health of our judges or the Supreme Court. They can be as crazy as they want and do all the crazy stuff. Nobody says that they are insane. These people are disgusting, are sick. These judicial idiots, and they're for life. Neat, isn't it? Disgusting. That's the problem.
I'm sterile. But why? It turns out the order came from the state, which said he was feeble-minded and unworthy of having children.
Exactly, United States. Eugenics! Just like Nazi Germany.
To try to have
in the United States.
Family.
Thanks to psychosis.
Kids that I could call.
Say what they did to this guy? Christian United States.
Had eugenics programs at one time or another. North Carolina, where Charles Holt lives, sterilized more than 7,000 people between 1929 and 1974, not all that long ago. In fact, as many as 1,800 of these victims could still be alive. North Carolina was poised to become the first state in the nation to compensate its eugenics survivors for the harm done to them, but rejected a plan to pay each victim $50,000.
Sure, Christians.
They couldn't find enough money in the new budget.
See that? Christian.
To be honest, we wanted to know what...
And you see, nobody knows this. Nobody. You know, amnesia. And the reason is because they don't teach all this stuff to children in schools. Nothing. They are Christ-psychotic, infected, imbecile teachers that have no idea about reality. They are stupid people teaching children all this garbage, and the parents are Christ-psychotic, infected imbeciles, corrupting the mind of children, or their own children. They don't know the ass from a hole in the ground in history, in science, or anything. And then the teachers, they teach all this crap, and then you have universities like Brigham Young that believe in the resurrecting zombies and prophets with golden plates and crap like that. Liberty University, all these people, they should be shut down. Shut down. All the churches, shut down. They are disgusting people that corrupt the brain of children. We shouldn't have all these lunatics, psychopaths, schizophrenics with the mental cancer that they have in this 21st century. They should be in a mental institution having their brains fixed, just like people suffer from depression, from bipolar disorders, from schizophrenia, for temporal lobe epilepsy, from trauma to the brain, from Alzheimer's. All these Christianity-infected people out of being in hospitals getting treated for the brain cancer of the zombie God belief that they believe is reality. This is the problem. So on this, nobody knows this. Thanks to the teachers, Christianity-infected schools, keeping the people, the children, retarded, stuck in the Middle Ages.
All the forced sterilization victims who are still alive.
$1 million, yes.
How big is the budget, and where does that fit in?
$1 billion budget, and so we looked around to see.
Piece of shit Christian. There you go. Christianity infected America, just like Nazi Germany.
For example,
identical.
they found $1.5 million to gain $500,000 to the North Carolina Grape Growers Council, $500,000 to a private
and the churches,
school,
and tons of money for the piece of shit churches.
Carolina Transportation Museum
to infect everybody with Christ psychosis.
The North Carolina Oyster Sanction, $20,000 for a future gubernatorial inauguration.
There you go. Christ psychosis infected America, right there in front of all the retards, imbeciles.
What those projects we tried to find out, and we were unable to.
Of course you can. Christianity infected America.
Enough money there. Why would the legislators not want to compensate?
Because they're Christians.
You know,
they're Christians.
Legislators, this and
that is the reason.
Pride, poverty, and
bullshit.
Christians. And we have to
make Christ-psychotic infected imbeciles.
It worries us to compensate these victims.
What about the churches?
What if we're setting
the churches?
What if we're leaving?
All the churches pay money. Close the pieces of shit down.
Compensation for the injustice.
They're raping the mind of children all the time with the garbage Christian imbecilities.
So they were worried about sort of speak.
So then what happens?
Open the floodgates. Call them Christ-psychotics.
This is obviously
people that believe in God are theotarded. They're imbecile. They're ignorant, deluded assholes.
He just
say it like it is.
Devastated that
anybody with infected brain believe in God and crap like that.
More, and I'm sure this news.
That's how the results.
Even more.
Eugenics.
Down to me as he described legislation.
And you have racism, pedophilia, and immorality, all due to Christ psychosis.
People like Charles.
Nobody sees it.
They'll continue to work. They haven't put this in the budget. They've said no to this for several years in the past, and
they're Christians. They're going to say no to everything.
And when you heard that the state of North Carolina decided that, in fact, they were not going to stick to that deal to compensate people,
blacks are inferior.
What did you think?
Racist. When you remember the KKK, the Christian organization,
I was humiliated.
That's what happened.
I was just really disappointed.
See what happened to the blacks?
Not to.
Thanks to the United States, a Christianity-infected nation.
Now
people are stupid, don't realize it.
Was set aside. They were looking at roughly $50,000 per person going to give you the money.
They're not going to give anything. They give it to the churches. To affect the amount of children and rape them. To rape their brains.
To speak on
disgusting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, United States had that slavery.
Sitting down.
KKK, they were anti-black. They hated the Jews and they allowed to get married. They sterilized all the people. They're blacks and everybody. Eugenic programs.
Whatsoever.
Due to Christianity-infected nation.
House bill
What would you say to those legislators who have decided that they don't want to
victim of brutal policy, Christian policy?
Look at where they
Why don't you say it like it is? It's a Christianity policy. Sterilizing people that are defective, just like in Nazi Germany. Christianity infected Germany.
Shout for compensation.
See, that's the reason. And they were black. They're inferior considered by the Christian piece of shit. Anybody that believes in resurrecting zombies, this is the problem.
Gary, thank you
that
for
deluded people,
I certainly appreciate
sick
it.
people with infected brains.
Tonight, including the show.
So the fact is, which cryptopsychotics and people suffering from this bizarre mathematical belief of God that don't realize is that we are product of a fuck that create God and those beliefs with the brain. It is, I repeat this ad nauseum. And every time I get nothing but responses that are completely stupid and ignorant. People that bring up non sequiturs. They begin with the premise. We create thoughts with the brain, not the ass. And the stupid cryptopsychotic and people infected, they go with all kind of science. No, begin with the brain, creating thinking. They don't. So they're clueless of neurology. They create the brain they create the thoughts with the brain, not the ass. People that suffer from schizophrenia are no different than people that suffer from religious psychosis, for believing God and all this nonsense. They are creating the brain. We are born lacking belief. You don't see any babies knowing science and knowing gods and the millions of gods that are in the world. Millions of religions. There are as many religions as the brain can create. The brain creates them. Little kids don't have any science, any belief in science. They have no idea. And this is what a stupid Christian don't understand. And I'm so sick and tired of. I began with this premise. We create thinking with the brain. Now, to proving to me that I'm wrong, you have to prove to me that the brain does not create those beliefs. And if I give you entheogens and I can give you, operate your brain or do something to your brain or hit your stupid, ridiculous head, an infected head, you are not going to be thinking differently. And you will. If I hit you over the head, you will think differently. You get a trauma to the brain and you start creating all this thinking on this stupid thinking. Deal with it, people. If you are religious, you are crazy. You're psychotic. You're stupid. You're ignorant. And they don't deal with that. I'm so sick and tired. In my YouTube videos, I get with these pieces of shit morons that go off the tangent with something else that I'm not saying. You have to, I begin with, we create thinking with the brain. Deal with it. So if you believe in God, you are a psychotic. The brain is the creator of God. God doesn't come from the air and influence the brain. The brain creates it. Product of evolution with neurons and synapses and all the mechanisms of the brain. That's what I'm saying. And you people are so stupid. These Christians are imbeciles. They're ignoramuses. They don't understand that. You believe in God, you're a psycho. You're a psychopath. You're a disgusting piece of shit. You suffer from this disease like HIV/AIDS. The same thing. But of the brain. People are Christians. I love Christians. And I love cancer patients. I love people suffering from pneumonia. But I hate the illness that affects them. So deal with it. If you're a Christian, you suffer from a mental illness, not unlike a schizophrenia. End of story. It's a fact. Well, keep it healthy. Everything is great when you are mentally healthy. In other words, an atheist. Keep that in mind. We are the only ones that know. We can tell the difference between fact and fiction. It's great to be mentally healthy or sane. Atheist. Budget your own